So today I thought I'd give you a 2-for-1 video. Um, Basically, let's see, the HOMIES, on the HOMIES front and on the results of the antiques auction, or not quite the final results. I'll let you know in a future video what I actually got in the end, but I will give you kind of an estimate and what my take was on the auction in general. Anyway, the HOMIES. So the HOMIES, I did a count on them, spent some time counting. I've been counting actually the Battlestar Galactica pins in preparation to wholesale them out, and the HOMIES to sell them. And I had 1,338 capsulated HOMIES. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the HOMIES, they're little vinyl figures that were sold from vending machines for a while. And eventually, in the U.S., the government said, well, no, you can't sell these because, or sell these to kids because they are glorifying gang life. So they ended up, basically they're now sold in retail stores, in blister packs, and basically as a collectible. But the first batches up to, I think, series 8 or 9, something like that. I'm not sure what the cutoff was there. But they were sold out of vending machines for 50 cents or $1, something like that. But anyway, I obtained quite a few of them. This was they were sold in the 1990s, 2000, thereabouts. And I obtained quite a few of them. About 1,600, something like that. No, more than 1,600, I guess. Closer to 1,700 or 1,800. But anyway, so 1,338 of them is what I had left, and I decided to liquidate them all. I didn't want to sort them into categories or sets and sell sets and such. Just don't really have the time and didn't want to bother. So sold them to somebody else who will probably be reselling them. So 1,338 HOMIES. I got $1,000 US plus $200 US for shipping. So sold them all. They're gone. Happy. And I've got floor space again in my office that they were taking up. And they ended up going to Georgia. So that gentleman will be selling them probably in sets or by singles, and probably pull out the really good ones and that sort of thing, I would think. So hopefully he does well. Yeah, so they're gone. Happy about that. Got some money. Helps out for the month. And now for the auction. So you may have seen some of the videos of the auction and setting up for the auction and getting ready for the auction. So there's been about 3 videos before that, or about the auction so far. And there'll be a couple more presented as well. So anyway, my take on it, I attended and did some buying as well. I sat on my hands, so to speak, trying not to buy too much. Prices were bargain prices, really. In most cases, not everything. Some good stuff went for decent money, but the middle of the road stuff didn't do well, and there was probably a little bit too much kind of garage sale grade sort of stuff there that got put in, and it got grouped up and sold for quite cheaply. Well, there was a lot of $2.50 lots, so that was kind of disappointing. And a lot of the middle of the road stuff that normally sells for $20, $30 was selling for $2, $2.50, $5 type thing. So the middle of the road stuff I had, and some of the higher end stuff I had didn't do very well either. I had a Case tractor poster that from the 50s or 40s that sold for, it wasn't in the best of shape, it was faded, but it sold for $2.50. Really should have gone for $40, $50 at least, but it didn't. There was some Pyrex and Fire King that went quite cheaply. There was a lot of Fire King, for example, went for $2.50 again, and we're talking mint pieces. We're not talking chipped, cracked, or broken. So they went quite inexpensively. The BCA bearing cabinet that I had sold for about $70, I think, and I think I had $175 on it in the store. There was a Bose cabinet that I think sold for 65 or something, 75, maybe it went for 80, but it was still worth more than that, but sold inexpensively. Might have even sold for 45 or 50. Not positive on that, but I didn't catch it in video, unfortunately. I did take some video as well of the live auction of some of the stuff selling. So there was a Timex case that I put in. Timex had a little clock on it that ran and everything. It's kind of a little motion, or the little hand went around on it and everything, and lit up, and it sold for $25. And I noticed it on Facebook Marketplace. The fellow decided to post it for $175. I think I had 100 and a quarter or 150 on it at the time, or in the store, that is. But sold for $25, and then auctioneer takes 25% of that. A lot of stuff just went quite inexpensively. A lot of lots for $250 and $5. So it was disappointing. Have to admit it was disappointing. But you got to develop a thick skin, and when you don't put reserves on stuff, and really you can't afford to put reserves on a lot of stuff, just let it go. You know, it's auction. You're taking a chance. You just got to let it go. So yeah. So that's a warning. If you're putting stuff in auction, be prepared to lose on it too, because it's quite possible that you will. I have never done well at auction. I haven't had an auction yet that I've consigned stuff in that I've done really well. I seem to have bad luck at auction. But that's the way it goes. Can't prevent it. I don't know what could have been done different. Maybe a quality upgrade overall. Maybe the auctioneer should have, I guess, audited the contents of some of the consignments. I'm not sure. Maybe a little less stuff, because there was 600 to 1,000 lots. I'm sure that's probably what it was, because he did travel through it fast. He didn't take his sweet time or anything, which is good. When auctioneers take way too much time, it tends to drive the buyers away. So, and about 3-4 o'clock, people were starting to trickle out a little bit. So, the chairs weren't full. We had, I think, about 50 or 60 people in the room, so not a lot. And it wasn't for lack of advertising, because we saw lots of advertising online, and there was flyers out, and I'm sure he did other advertising as well. I've talked to other people who saw lots of advertising, so it wasn't the advertising. Yeah, so I don't know. Sorry, I got a creaky chair here. Anyway, word of the wise and word of warning: auction's a risk. You never know what you're going to get, and sometimes you just will not win. Won't do terribly well. Kind of case in point, like I said, I figured my rough tally of what I sold was about $700 after commission. And he took a lower commission than what other auctioneers take. He took 25%. Whereas a lot of auctioneers now, with their online sales and such, they're taking 33% and 35%. And plus, they take a buyer's premium as well, a 10% buyer's premium. So the auctions are making upwards of 40 to 45% on the items sold. But this gentleman, this younger fellow, is taking 25% and no buyer's premium. So he's doing, quite reasonable, really. So, so it wasn't for lack of trying, but we didn't do terribly well. unfortunately. But it doesn't really prevent me from putting stuff in a future auction. But I'd be a little more cautious, and I'm not sure. I suppose it depends what type of auction it's going to be, but an antique auction, I'd put in the same sort of stuff and hope for the best, I guess, again. But I can do better out of the store than I did at that particular sale. I just did a sale today, as a matter of fact, to another dealer, at discounting to dealer kind of prices, and I sold $725 today. So, I can do better in less time. That was an hour's worth of work compared to all the work prepping and such for this particular sale. So, a lot of work to get all the stuff ready, a lot of work setting it up, and expenses. Definitely lost money on this particular batch of stuff, I would think. But you never know. You just never know, and you can't really ruminate on it. You just got to let it go. So, I've got money out, and I'll use that money to buy more stuff and hopefully flip it over for a profit. Some of the stuff I did buy at the sale. I did spend $440 at this sale. $40 of that was actually a friend's purchases. So realistically, I bought $400 worth of stuff. I did sell 2-3 pieces to this particular dealer today from this sale. So quick turnover. Pieces that I had 20 and 10 into, so $30 that I sold for $245. So I made $200 on my purchases. So made a little bit, and all the stuff I bought I'll make money on. Yeah, I probably should have bought more, but I was so tired. I didn't want to load a whole bunch of stuff. There was a piece that I was thinking I'd bid a little higher on, a cast iron steam shovel builder's plate that I went up over 400 on, but it was me and another dealer. That's the only two people that were bidding, which is kind of concerning because it was a really good piece. I think worth $750, maybe $800, but probably about $750 is what I would have tagged it at. So I stopped at about $435 or something like that. And that's probably about what it was worth. Like I said, about $750. So I could have made another $300 on it, three and a quarter maybe, but it was heavy, and I didn't want to stress my shoulder too much because it's still bugging me. So anyway, yeah, should have bought more. I probably, like I said, I could have made more money and come out better that way, but I was so tired at that point. I just didn't want to do a whole bunch of loading and stuff again. But realistically, I probably should have bought more, really. Considering the pricing and such, it was, like I said, stuff. So, yeah. But anyway, that's about it, folks. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and check out our other videos on antiquing, picking, thrifting, scrapping, etc. Take care, folks.